You really got to be careful who you're getting your advice from in life, and especially if you're trying to get into medical sales. You would not take marriage advice from somebody who had multiple failed marriages. Would you take child raising advice from people that haven't had children? Would you take money advice from somebody who is broke? No. But for some reason, when it comes to like career and education, so many people just go to YouTube and start searching stuff on medical sales, and they'll just watch 50 different people talk about medical sales and what they need to do to get into the industry. But here's the thing, that's bad advice, okay? I went to YouTube and I searched how to get hired in medical sales, and one of the top videos in there had like 25,000 views, and the advice was you need to change the adjectives in your resume, and that's what's going to get you hired. Like, what are you talking about? That's bad advice. What that means is that 25,000 people went to YouTube trying to figure out how to get into medical sales, and they got bad advice. They were listening to somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay, you got to be careful. You can't just take advice from everybody. Everybody has advice. Everybody has opinions. That doesn't mean they're good. That doesn't mean they're helpful. If you're gonna listen to my advice or somebody else's advice, what are the chances that we would agree on everything? Like 0. Myself and somebody else are not going to agree on everything on how to get into medical sales. So if you go watch 40 different videos, you're going to get 40 different opinions on what you should do, and then you don't know what to do because it's all just jumbled together. So you really got to be careful on who you take your advice from. You got to be selective. Don't go listen to just anybody on medical sales. Don't go just search and then look at the top video and think, oh yeah, this person probably knows what they're talking about. Like, if it looks like if it's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday and they're shooting a video in their living room telling you how to get hired in medical sales, they probably don't know what they're talking about. The world moves fast, and the way that medical sales is now is not the same industry it was 7 years ago when I started. So if you're getting advice from somebody that worked in the industry 15 years ago, it doesn't mean that they weren't good. It just means that their advice might be outdated. And a quick story, I was having a conversation with a family member of mine this last weekend. She's a young woman. She's mid-20s, graduated from the University of Iowa, I think. And she wants to get into medical sales. And so she's in a job right now. She's been there for like 6 months in sales. And so she's like, yeah, what I think I'm gonna do is work for another 6 months with this company so that I can have a year of sales experience under my belt. And then I'll start applying to sales jobs. And it's like, well, why are you gonna do that? Well, because I talked to somebody in HR and they said that I needed a year of sales experience to get in the industry. Like, who did you hear that from? Because that's bad advice. That's just an arbitrary number that somebody's pulling out of the air and saying, hey, you need 1 year of sales experience, and that's what's going to be the difference for getting into the industry. It's like, I didn't have a year of sales experience, and I got into the industry. A good buddy of mine, he was a teacher before he got into medical sales, okay? You don't have to have sales experience to get into medical sales. Now, you might get beat out a couple times from people that do. It's not a guarantee. I'm just saying, you're taking advice from people that don't actually know what they're talking about. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, because that's all over the place. In a best case scenario, you wanna be getting advice from people that have done what you wanna do and that are currently doing what you wanna do. That's gonna be the most relevant and important information for you. If you're taking advice from somebody that clearly has not gotten in the industry, hasn't interviewed recently, doesn't know what they're talking about, like, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Don't fill your mind with things that are only going to hurt you in getting hired. Only take advice from people that know what they're talking about. Okay? You gotta watch out for that. And what I would say is check out, I've got a podcast. I've got like, 70 episodes up right now. Check out my podcast. I'll link it below. That's good advice for getting in the industry.